What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks, MLB edition. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. It goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great betting content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Last week sucked. It was terrible from an MLB perspective. NBA was going great. I was happy. Sacramento won on Saturday, and then Sunday happens. Giannis Antetokounmpo gets hurt, and the PRA points gone. It's tough. Sometimes you have bad stretches when it comes to betting, but you stick to the process that got me here. The last 5 years of betting, I have never had as bad of an MLB week as what I had last week. No doubt about it. I will be better. There's no way that I could possibly be worse. So I'm going to put the work in. I'm going to give you all of the stats information that I have, everything that I'm looking at in terms of the books in every single game as we go on the line. I hope you're able to stick through this with me because I promise we will be finding ourselves with positive ROI, just like we did at the entire second half of last MLB season when I started this video series. So again, got to take accountability. Got to let you know I'm going to improve. We are going to get it back on track here this week. So looking forward to that. If you're in Bet365, you should look forward to this. Or if you're in a state that has it, you have 4 states where it's available. We have Colorado, New Jersey, Ohio, and Virginia. You sign up at one of those 4 states. You bet you deposit $10. You bet $1. You get $200 in bet credits over there. It's only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, y'all. As I said, let's get to it, shall we? Big slate, 13-gamer with kegs and eggs. We're starting off in Boston at 8:10 a.m. out here on the West Coast, before noon out on the East Coast. Let's talk some baseball, shall we? It's Patriots Day out there in Boston, and they have a little bit of a treat. I don't think they want it necessarily. Shohei Ohtani on the mound pitching for the Angels, going up against the Boston Red Sox and Brayan Bello. Now, Brayan Bello had 1 start in AAA this year. 6 innings, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, look good across the board. But this dude was somebody I felt really good about his pitch mix being able to translate to strikeout stuff at the big league level. And let me tell you, that did not occur last year. A 20.5% K rate, 10.1% walk rate. Just another thing that I was wrong about. So there you go. Happy to take accountability there too. But Brayan Bello, not very enthusiastic to be backing him here. Another year, though, he's a very, very young arm. Still has opportunities to develop. But with last year's 4.71 ERA, 2-8 record, 23 years old, I don't know what to make of it. He's still got that high 90s fastball. He can rock at 97, 98 miles per hour. We'll see if that velocity is there right from the get-go. I didn't see any AAA numbers with it, but I did see the AAA outing, and I'm disregarding it because I definitely think this Angels lineup will still cause him problems here at the big league level. You got to show it to me. Last year, Bello, after blindly backing you into some dark, bad corners of the world. So whatever. Angels on the other side. That is Shohei Ohtani on the mound. He seems pretty good at the pitching of baseballs and pretty much everything he's ever done ever. He's incredible. He's just out there slinging the splitter. It's the best pitch in baseball. I don't know what else to say. He's the best pitcher in the game, in my opinion. When it comes to, well, he's the best player in the game. And if you argue that with me, there's probably, we'll be at it for hours. But Shohei Ohtani is extremely special pitching as well. Him, Jacob deGrom, 1A, 1B. We'll go that direction. And hey, deGrom on this slate, excited to talk him too. But pretty straightforward play. Like play on the Angels in the morning. Nice to be able to have a little action going here to kick off the day. Now we move into the afternoon corridor. To Detroit we go. Yes, Detroit, where they did not play baseball on Sunday. San Francisco and Detroit rained out. They'll have to find a way to make that up. And now with limited exposure to certain teams within your own division, going to be interesting to see how MLB schedules around some of this stuff or how they make that game up or when they come to the neck of the woods, because Detroit, out of the way of everything. But who cares about that? Let's talk some actual baseball here going. I think you're looking at a pitching spot in San Francisco where Logan Webb is more than likely going to be the guy on the mound for them. Now, Matthew Boyd, it sounds like, is going to be on the mound for Detroit. So they just kind of both just move them back a day, it would appear. You could always get news that changes later on. So hit me up at Eric Lindquist on Twitter, and I will be happy to let you know if something changes there, what my opinion is. So there you go. Do that. But he'll be on the mound, southpaw, same stuff as we've seen forever. I mean, the K rates come way, way down. He's been walking guys at the beginning of this year, and Cleveland, a team that doesn't strike out anyway, not ideal for him. And Hunter Gaddis, This is a very strange case we have going for him because I didn't think he was ready for Major League Ball, but even though he's got completely blasted, and I do mean blasted in his first couple outings this season, I don't think he's as bad as I expected him to be. He's at a 31.7% hard hit percentage, a 283 xWOBA, and a 315 expected slugging. That is wild to think that his expected ERA has been as bad as what it's been last year, 12.20, and then this year, an 8.53 ERA, but he carries a 3.26 expected ERA. And this comes down to BABIP, friends. I bring it up all the time, a batting average of balls in play. And I have no idea what to make of this, but 320 in 2022 in a limited sample size, 325 this year. That is ridiculous kind of stuff that hitters are hitting, almost 333 against him with batting average of balls in play. I mean, that is unlucky type stuff in his 12 2/3. So I might be backing Detroit, though, however, because Matthew Boyd should be able to still find a little bit of success. And again, Gaddis, I don't know what to make of it. The strikeouts have not been there. And when you go back to some of his AAA numbers, he had an 11.2 K per 9. That has come down way below 8 now in his 2 big league seasons, his 2 years just appearing in the big. So we're going to lean Detroit money line, but do you really want to back Detroit's lineup? I'm not sure that I do. That's my major issue here. Enough other games that we can find other places to go with our money. San Francisco and Miami, just talked about it with the game before, but Logan Webb more than likely going to have his start pushed back a day. He is the quote-unquote ace of the San Francisco pen. I'm not sure what to make of it, but I do like to make of 31.4% K rate. Yet another guy, though, who's just found hard times when it comes to batting average of balls in play, a 4.76 ERA and a 3.98 expected ERA. But with some of the swing and miss stuff, you get to a park like Miami, yay, good for you. You're in a great spot. But it's a terrible matchup in terms of what San Francisco has before them. Jesus Luzardo, I love this cat, and it's just showing up in a really prominent way at the beginning of this year. A sub-200 expected batting average, a 27% K rate. And this San Francisco team against lefties, I expect them to struggle. Lots of lefties that are just in the lineup by default. You can look at today's lineup against Matthew Boyd and see that they're forced to put a Mike Yastrzemski, forced to put some lefties into duty there because they don't really have a choice. And Jesus Luzardo is going to shut down lefties. You see this curveball. It's just the slider, I suppose, is what it is on Fangraphs. But you're looking at a dude with fastball usage right around 40%. And it's moving. It's 97, 98, and has some movement, and it is nasty. I love him. I want to be backing him. It would be really hard-pressed to find a situation where I'm not going to be backing Luzardo going forward. One, in spots like this where he's a favorite, it's pretty minimal because Miami's lineup brings him down. And then two, when you face some studly teams, he's going to shut down the likes of the Dodgers from time to time in spots where Miami's plus 180, plus 200. We could maybe find some first 5 inning value there, even though those numbers are pretty tough to beat long-term. But don't think it's too tough to beat this one long-term. Minus 125 against this Giants lineup. Too good of a spot to pass up. Small play, but a play nevertheless. Miami, Jesus Luzardo, everything is a go here. To Great American Small Park we head, and yeah, Cincinnati. They ran into some problems, to put it very lightly there. A 14-3 shellacking. I can't believe what we witnessed there in that first inning. 11 earned for Luis Cessa in that outing. Not good stuff. Not good at all. And now they get Zach Wheeler on the mound here for Philly, going up against, oh, hang on. Just missed that one. Mark it. Screwed it up. To Cincinnati we go. Great American Small Park. We have Tampa Bay visiting, fresh off the heels of actually being the hero of my Sunday in the MLB department. Definitely needed to get that W there, backing Shane McClanahan. Ran into some issues in the first, but looked really, really good the rest of the way. That was awfully fun to see. Cincinnati, speaking of issues, Luis Cessa gave up 11 earned, lost 14-3 to the Phillies. That's going to happen against the Phillies from time to time in small ballparks like this. But now Tampa Bay, the best team in baseball so far in this early season, gets the opportunity to go play in the field of dreams if you like scoring runs, that's for sure. However, it's not the best pitching situation for them. We have Jalen Beek starting. They end up handing that one over to the bullpen a little bit later on. That's kind of just routinely been what they plan on doing. And I don't really want to be backing this middle relieving staff after going to Toronto in this spot. Just not my favorite game to target whatsoever, and especially with Hunter Green on the other side. He is going to be homer prone. There might be some value with the likes of Luke Raley, Brandon Lau, even Josh Lowe, or yeah, I think he goes Lowe because then Brandon goes Lau. You say Lau, I say Lowe. I got that right, though. I know that I did. Josh Lowe starting to show out. 583 expected slugging, 290 expected batting average at the back half of that Rays order. Like what we're seeing from him as well. And then, yeah, the lefties, Luke Raley, Brandon Lau, Randy Arozarena. These are going to be inflated numbers against Hunter Green, who can still spin it, 34.8% K rate, but is still giving up that hard hit, 45.5% hard hit percentage with a 21.6 degree average launch angle. So it's not like the books don't know that either. Doubt we're going to get any value, just like Schwarber was plus 175 to hit homers, and I had to pair it with money lines, and nothing happened that was good. It was terrible. Whatever. In this spot, I'm just leaning Tampa Bay money line, but there's not a ton of value, minus 125. You'd expect a bigger number here, that's for sure. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Tampa Bay, again, I need to get off to a good start against Hunter Green, and you'd be able to ride that one in. But I think there's other spots I'm going to be going. Like this one, Philadelphia taking on the White Sox, and two pitchers that have had interesting starts of the season, to say the absolute very least. Zach Wheeler going up against Lance Lynn, and I kind of want to start with Lynn because, well, we just saw him show out against the Twins, and we saw Garrett Cole go completely nuts against the Twins, and the Twins lit him up Friday. I don't know what to make of my Minnesota Twins right now. It's kind of a weird situation that we're running into on a day-to-day basis, but I do know that without a doubt, Zach Wheeler is that dude. And Zach Wheeler still has a 280 expected slugging, a 26.5% K percentage. And yeah, 4.02 ERA is not indicative of who he's been. A 2.93 expected ERA. You're going to see it show up in the box score the same way that we just saw it show up for Lance Lynn against the Twins. So, yeah, I still want to back Lynn, though, coming off of this Philadelphia series where they were in Cincinnati, Chicago, a much more forgiving ballpark. And I think the only way to really do the two of them together is to take the under of 7.5. And there are some sevens posted at other books right now, so be careful. Be very, very aware. People always ask me, oh, do you still like this at 7? No, I do not. You need to have this at minus 110 or minus 115 on the under of 7.5, or I do not like it. But I like that number. Yes, under 7.5, that's where we're going to be going in this one. Pretty straightforward play. And we're going to talk a little bit of laddering. Chaos is a ladder. Game of Thrones taught me that one. But we've got Texas heading to Kansas City, and my guy, Jacob deGrom, everybody's got Jacob deGrom. How could you not like him? Just needs to stay healthy, like one-time dealer, one time. He's going to go up against Jordan Lyles here. And Jordan Lyles, I mean, this number is efficient. Texas is a massive favorite. They should be, because Jordan Lyles is trash. 515 expected slugging, 313 expected batting average. I didn't like him in Baltimore. Definitely not going to like him here. He has kind of these junk sinker curves that he mixes in with the fastball, and it's getting barreled up to the tune of a 10.5% barrel percentage. He's inducing no swings and misses, whiff percentage of 16.7. Everything is bad for Jordan Lyles, but you know everything's good for? Jacob deGrom with his 41% K rate, and it's hard to say that it's really going to fall off if he's healthy, considering that would be the lowest number he's had in his last 3 seasons. How wild is that? And I don't know where this K-prop's going to open against Kansas City, but I'm very curious about it. And this is the one thing, if you want to hit me up for something tomorrow, hit me up about this, because I get it. A lot of people want to go to the K-props. I've started to mix them in, K-ladders. I've always had the pitcher props. Those have always been a thing, but starting to mix in some of the ladders when the numbers make sense. I need to see these numbers. But I'm looking at this lineup as I've projected it out here for Kansas City, and you're going to get no strikeouts, generally speaking, from the likes of Vinny Pasquantino and Bobby Witt Jr. They're two guys who just seem to avoid it routinely, both below 17% for the season. Kyle Isbell's been batting higher in the order, batting 5th. He's at 19%, and Sal Perez, 19%. but you get near freebies when it's Jacob deGrom, and he's going to mix in a couple. So you give him 3 times through this rotation against Franmil Reyes at a 40% K rate, Michael Massey 40%, MJ Melendez 36.2%, and then I'm assuming Nicky Lopez, who doesn't strike out a ton, but if it's Hunter Dozier, that's another freebie at 35% in terms of Ks. So Jacob deGrom has the stuff to strike out anybody. It doesn't matter if it's Luis Arraez, it doesn't matter whomever. But Jacob deGrom, ladder up to 10 Ks. I'm very curious if this opens at 8.5 or 9.5. I'm assuming 9.5. It's kind of what I'm assuming. But if it's at 8.5, I want to ladder it up to 10 plus Ks. Yes, I'm assuming you're getting plus money on 10 or more Ks, and I want it. I need it. Maybe even a little dip on 11 or 12, seeing where those numbers end up. Seems aggressive. Would be like quarter unit plays on those ones. But Jacob deGrom, K ladder, that's where we're looking. Just like you should be looking at this terrible picture of me, but it's important because Bet365 gets you a great opportunity to put cash into your pocket by signing up for their book, depositing $10 or more, and betting $1 on anything to get $200 in bonus bets to be able to fire up on their site. Yes, Bet365 came from Europe, jumps over here to the US. It's only available in Colorado, New Jersey, Ohio, and Virginia. But if you're in one of those 4 states, this promotion guarantees you a win on Monday, no matter what. You're guaranteed to get yourself $200 in bonus bets just by checking out their products. So sign up at the link below, deposit $10 or more, and bet $1 on anything, and you're going to get $200 in bonus bets. What a great deal. It's only if you're 21 and over, though. And if you have a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, y'all, lots of games to get to. Let's get back to the picks. One of my dudes on the mound, Merrill Kelly, going up against one of my not dudes, I almost said Jake from State Farm. Jack Flaherty is who it would be. He's had a 21.5% walk rate, and yet somehow, some way avoids getting punished by it. He's been great in the hard hit percentage. He's been great in terms of expected batting average because he's got decent stuff, but he just walks this high wire all the time. He is a bloop single away from giving up 2 earned, it seems like, every single inning of late. That's not going to be productive going forward against teams like Arizona, who create runs, who find ways with Alek Thomas, Corbin Carroll. They have power and they have an opportunity to run on you from the left side. Well, they're both lefties, but yes, they have an opportunity to just go completely nuts on you. I love the makeup of some of these young Arizona Diamondbacks. Pavin Smith probably going to be batting 3rd up there with his 75% hard hit percentage. Got to start lofting it in the air, young man. Negative 4.7 degree launch angle. That's not great. No, on 8 batted balls in play, but he's only going to be in there against righties. And look at that. Jack Flaherty, righty. Good stuff. Merrill Kelly, he's had a really rough year so far. 23.4% K percentage looks great, but everything else, it's been a struggle. 467 expected slugging, 273 expected batting average. I'm not going out of my way to say, hey, Merrill Kelly is okay right now, that this is some fantastic spot that you should be targeting every single time out. He still found a way to have a 2.94 ERA, though, even though that 1.44 whip and 0-2 record doesn't look great. But this is value on somebody I expect to improve. And again, I could be completely wrong about it, but you're getting the price to find out, in my opinion, because I know Jack Flaherty. He needs to start locating the fastball. There are guys on this Arizona team in this lineup who can run. And there's guys who are going to start hitting better, whether it's Lourdes Gurriel, who came over from Toronto, needs to start playing a little bit better for this team. Talked about McCarthy, talked about Carroll. I expect both of them to keep doing just what they're doing right now. Ketel Marte, he's been okay, but nothing great. And Christian Walker last season had a massive year. Might not even be in this lineup there with Pavin Smith, I'm assuming, starting against the righty. But it's all adding up to be just good enough to take me to a like play on plus 140. Nothing crazy. Half unit play for me at the moment. We'll see if anything else changes here. But I get how good St. Louis's lineup is, and they're going to create issues on the base path for one Merrill Kelly as well. But I think this is a really good number to be getting. Houston hosting Toronto in this one, and they're currently playing right now 0-0, bottom of the 5th. Wish my guy was getting more strikeouts. Come on. Andrew Heaney, it's like he forgot the art of striking out dudes right now. But he's pitching great, just can't get guys out at the moment. But early baseball, we'll start figuring out if that's a trend going forward. But One trend we got to figure out is what's going on with Christian Javier here of the Houston Astros. It has not been pretty for him early going. A 19.7% K rate is way down, 456 expected slugging. Still limiting hard contact, but it does not look good in the box score. That is for darn sure. And oh yeah, Toronto, not exactly the lineup you want to be facing when you just got done struggling against Pittsburgh. He was good against Detroit and the White Sox. So he has had a pretty smooth sailing in terms of matchups. Still 1-0 on the year. Shout out Houston and that lineup. They're pretty good. But they're going to have a tough time with Kevin Gausman here of the Toronto Blue Jays on the mound for them. I think if you ended the season today, which would be a silly thing to do, it's April 17th, but Kevin Gausman would probably be your AL Cy Young along him and Garrett Cole 1-2 in some capacity. But the guy has a 1.35 ERA. He's gone at least 6 in all 3 outings, struck out at least 7 in all 3 outings, and did what you should do against Detroit, 11 Ks. So just one faced Detroit and murdered him, one faced Detroit and struggled, and he was still fine. They were both really good. Everybody's going to be good against Detroit, but I think this game is overall unappealing because of how good the lineups are. I think I'd be leaning towards the under just because of how good I expect Gausman to continue to be against everybody going forward. But yeah, Houston playing some baseball here on Sunday night. Going to be running back here on Monday against a much more difficult lineup in Toronto. Under 8.5, pretty strange spot. Christian Javier, don't know what to make of some of the struggles, but I think he'll be just fine. Just an unappealing game overall. Not true about this one, though. Pittsburgh going up against Colorado. We have our old friend, and I do emphasize old, Rich Hill going on the mound. Another southpaw, Kyle Freeland on the mound here for Colorado and Pittsburgh. Rich Hill starting. We're gonna keep this going. This is a thing that we're like doing on purpose. He's got a 7.20 ERA so far this year. He can induce some ground balls here, but he has 1 strikeout in his last 10 innings. At the big league level in 2023. What are we doing here? We're going to keep this going. Okay, I guess we're going to keep it going in Coors Field. So soft tossing, curveball emphasizing Rich Hill is going to be on the mound in Coors Field. Okay, got it. And Kyle Freeland's been pretty good so far this season. I would say he's surpassed expectations. He's somebody that has to find ways to get the ball on the ground here, and well, he does that in Coors Field. He had a terrible ERA last year, over 6 when he was at home, 3.5 on the road. Unfortunately, of course, he's at home here. Never going to look good in the strikeout department. But as I said before, got to get that launch angle to come down. It's currently at 19.6%. That's not going to be successful long-term here. But a 3.66 expected ERA. The sinker seems to be sinking even in Coors at the moment. He's low velocity dude, but Pittsburgh going up against lefties, we're just going to continue to target them. Talked about it multiple times. Most of their hitters that I am looking at backing excel from the left side. You're looking at Ji Hwan Bae. Like, that is a dude from the left side that's pretty neutralized in a spot like this. Brian Reynolds is going to be good from both sides of the plate against all-handedness because he's a major league hitter. And Andrew McCutchen, this is a good spot for him. Maybe revenge in the heart of Connor Joe, even though I don't find him to be all that appealing. Jack Sawinski probably won't make the lineup. Lots of weird things I see with the Pittsburgh side, where I think we got to just be back in Colorado, but we're going to double down on it because this is your lock. And I do think Rich Hill just gets murdered here. I don't see any way around it. It would take a lot of batted ball luck for him to survive in Coors with his pitch mix at his age with no velocity. So we're going to be backing the money line and the run line. Yes, the lock. We are going half a unit on the run line in addition to the full on the Colorado money line. Look at that, 1.5 units. We're going to have some fun here. I want to have an opportunity to win all the things, but the Colorado money line, that is the emphasis. If you're only looking for one at minus 138, that number is just incorrect to me in this spot. To Oakland we go, and yeah, Oakland in the evening in April. Ball not going to be flying, and they're going to really need all the help they can get with these 2 pitchers on the mound. Hayden Wesneski, Kyle Muller. Oh boy, both just getting thrashed. Hayden Wesneski way worse. 467 expected, or ex-WOBA it is. 375 expected batting average and a 643 expected slugging. Striking out nobody. Neither of these pitchers do, but Wesneski, 11.4% K rate so far this year. It's egregious. I mean, I'm not going to make fun of him the way I went after Rich Hill because he's 25 and he still has some kind of an opportunity. He showed a couple of things with the Cubs. Couple of them. mean, pitched great last year. I don't know what to make some of these struggles that he has going, but we're going to need a larger sample size with him as a starter in baseball to be able to make educated decisions. Helps to be facing Oakland, I can tell you that much. Yeah, and Kyle Muller on the other side. I don't find him all that appealing. Just like I don't find this game that appealing. The weather, the ballpark, they definitely neutralize some of the bad pitching to a certain extent. We have seen some massive games still at Oakland, but you're going to see that from time to time with the quality of pitching that they're rolling out there every single day. So I'm leaning towards the over of 8. Doesn't really project out that well for me, but nothing projects out well for me. I think we're just going to be getting ourselves the heck up out of here. Here we go. This is going to be a fun one. I'm still only going to have a lean in it, but don't click ahead because it's actually something that we want to be looking at. It's a conversation about why pitching and overreacting to the early bits of the season. Jacob deGrom got lit up his first outing. Are we hitting the panic button? No, we're not. Just like I hope you did not hit the panic button with Corbin Burnes against Arizona. Oh boy. Still, 5.19 ERA for Corbin Burnes for Milwaukee this season. 1.01 whip, though. Looks great there. BABIP, it's the thing. 8 innings, 10 ground balls, 8 Ks. Don't know why I'm doing that with my voice, but it was fantastic stuff from Corbin Burnes. Last time out, looked like he got right, and the Seattle lineup, struggling. They're going to need Jared Kelenic from the left side to start doing some damage. Well, he's been doing damage. He needs other guys to come along for the ride is kind of the deal. Julio Rodriguez out of the gate a little bit slower than most might have thought, even though he's still fantastic. 254 average, 2 homers, 315 OPS. It's just that we have such high expectations for him. Also find it surprising. Only 3 stolen bases this year. I thought he would have more as well. Rules should help him more. He needs a lot of help, though. The Seattle lineup's not as good as people were expecting. And Corbin Burnes set up decently here, but Chris Flexen, he stays flexing in his candy paint, rolling dang, sip and drank on an 84 swing, but who cares? Because it's Chris Flexen, and I like nothing about his pitch mix, but the value here would be on this. See, this is just one of those weird games where Milwaukee, of course I'm leaning Corbin Burnes. Of course I have to be looking at that, but the number is not very good. The total is efficient. This ballpark is a cavern. People don't understand. Seattle, the hardest one to be hitting homers out of on a routine basis. That should help both pitchers here, specifically Flexen, who's going to have to deal with a lot of lefties there for Milwaukee, but lots of opportunities there. Rowdy Tellez came to life in San Diego. That was cool to watch too. But be paying attention to the news here. Hopefully this number can move inside of minus 130 and people want to back the home dog, but probably not going to be for me. Not going to be for me. Next game. 2 games to go. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell as we head to Petco, San Diego, hosting Atlanta. We've got 2, Max Fried came off the IL, lefty. Excited to see what he's got going. And Ryan Weathers on the mound there for San Diego, who is not good in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, Max Fried, not sure how many pitches they're going to necessarily allow for him. First one out of the get-go here. Haven't seen any news on that. Was searching Twitter. Hopefully we can find something on that. If you find some clarification, you can let me know in the comment section down below as well. Because I'm always looking, always watching, paying attention. But yeah, 11 batted balls in play. Second outing of the year. First one did not look good. 3 1/3, 2 Ks. That was all the way back on March 30th. Again, don't know what his limitations are going to be here. He hasn't been pitching a whole heck of a lot. It was a hamstring injury. You pretty much just let that rest. So I'm gonna put him in for 70 pitches as it stands right now. But I'm specifically far more interested at targeting Ryan Weathers. This guy is he is just getting ready to get lit up here at some point. He's found ways to be successful, 10 innings so far, just a 2.70 ERA, 1.10 whip. Can't really knock anybody for finding ways to be successful by limiting walks, by locating, by letting fielders. They have a really good infield led by Manny Machado. So there's opportunities for Ryan Weathers to still be successful. But do I believe in a 16.7% hard hit percentage? No, I do not. Do I believe in a 291 expected slugging? No, I do not. And you know who just absolutely murders lefties? He goes by the name Austin Riley. Heard of him? He plays third base for the Braves. He is very good at hitting lefties to the moon. And I am waiting for Ryan Weathers to give up that first home run of the season. So I'm assuming in San Diego, it's pretty good portion off the left, pretty short spot. Bartolo Colon, only home run in Major League Baseball in his 48-year career that he had was hit at Petco little short knocker to the left porch. So I'm calling my shot. Austin Riley is going yard. He's going to hit that wall on the left side, that brick wall that they have out and left in Petco. It's going to look beautiful. It's going to be scenic. It's going to be a bullet too. Because Austin Riley, he's pretty good against the lefty. So I want better than plus 330. That's the break-even spot against any lefty for Austin Riley here. But I'm assuming we're getting it, just like we were getting north of that for Matt Olson against righties. So Ryan Weathers, first home run of the season given up to Austin Riley. Lean, though. And the last game of the night, we head to Dodger Stadium, and Dustin May, he's been really good. He's got some of the best stuff in baseball. I don't know why I tried to pick on him one time. I should probably look into that. Seems like a character flaw in me. I'm never going to forget that Arizona game. I literally went out of my way to go against him. But it was 2-1. Arizona could have generated some runs. He also went 7 innings in his first outing, 84 pitches. Did not see 7 innings of work going. But Dustin May, 1.47 ERA, 0.76 whip. I mean, this dude's just such a stud. He has had 7 walks now in 3 outings, but he's just been successful over and over again. I find him to just be filthy. So it's pretty clear cut to me what we're going to be doing here. I don't understand this number, minus 155. And I get the Mets. They're going to start playing better baseball. They're waiting to get Scherzer back in the mix here. And when Diaz isn't coming back for a year, so be paying attention to that. But yeah, going to be a big deal for me when you have somebody, a lefty specifically, out here on the mound, going up against the Dodgers in Mr. David Peterson. Yes, I don't know why I did that for dramatic effect. I guess I'm just trying to keep it going. David Peterson, a 1.84 whip so far, 4.91 ERA. He has been getting some ground balls in some of his starts, 11-9 in starts against Miami and San Diego. But I don't find it to be all that appealing at this point. And the Dodgers, they're going to inflict some pain. They're going to inflict some pain on lefties this year with some of the guys on the back half of their order that maybe don't get the prominence that they should. I mean, we're not just talking the Mookie Betts here at the top of the order, but special shout out to Chris Taylor, who started to come to life, and you knew he would. He found way to, he's got 3 home runs pretty quietly in limited plate appearances this season. It's about all he's got because he's got all of 4 hits on the season, 3 of them leaving the yard. So not going to go out of my way to compliment him too much, but that long ball ability combined with Trace Thompson, who's hitting 273, 4 homers, 407 OPS, a lot of that against lefties, pretty much only starting against lefties. You got Outman, who has been good against everybody. I expect him to find some struggles against lefties, but hasn't shown up in a prominent way. He slowed down a little bit, but overall, I don't understand minus 155 with Dustin May on the mound. Way better. Yeah, we're just going to lock the Dodgers to finish out the night. What a way to go with a bang. Dodgers. Put them in your parlays, everybody. Enjoy it. Or just do what I did. Unit and a half, and then you win a unit, and you move on your merry way. See you again on Tuesday. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks MLB edition. Head to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays on Monday's slate. Let me know what interests you at Bet365, perhaps. Sign up for that if you're in one of these great 4 states: Ohio, Virginia, New Jersey, and Colorado. Had to flash my hands around weirdly for no reason. Whatever, sign up for that at the video description box below. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, y'all, I'll be back on Tuesday. Looking forward to a better week ahead, that's for sure. Until tomorrow, tomorrow, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Monday.